Welcome to the ACES Europe special TV program because of the ACES Europe's awards ceremony. Once again, we are here, meet to know in the next 2 hours who are the European capitals, cities and towns of sport. All exemplary municipalities that bid strongly into sport as main matter and policy in their own roadmaps. The last Eurobarometer saw us how the figures of practicing sport have to be improved. The Erasmus Plus is contributing better than ever with a big budget. The European Week of Sport in September 2015 will help as well, but don't forget that ACES Europe has been working for the last 15 years with 54 European Weeks of Sport in each awarded city every year. A reality that have to be highlighted. 54 weeks of sport, 365 days per year. As an example, Torino, the European Capital of Sport, for 2015 has planned 400 sport events. Who gives more? It's difficult, but we have done it easy. Just 15 years of working, professional working, in volunteering basis. Thank you for being here and believe in our passion, our love, our sense of life, the sport. Welcome and enjoy. Presidente Lupatelli, muy buenas.
Ciao.
Una auténtica realidad. Finalmente, 15 años de historia, grandes capitales, grandes ciudades y ACES Europe está en disposición de continuar viva muchos años más.
Claro, è una storia nacida nel 1999 con l'alcalde di Madrid, José María Álvarez de Mandano, grande alcalde. Empezamos con Madrid, capitale europea delle porte, ora siamo al numero 18. Con Sofia 2018, 2017 tenemos Marsiglia, 16 Praga y hoy el día fantástico de Torino.
Las capitales europeas del deporte, unas ciudades referencia en toda Europa. Recordamos que este año ha sido Cardiff en 2014, el año anterior fue la ciudad belga de Amberes. Una gran labor y un gran trabajo el que se realiza desde estas ciudades para promover la práctica deportiva.
Claro, ACES Europe è un'organizzazione non lucrativa che tiene un gusto di poner el deporte per la salud. Trabajamos con el corazón, no trabajamos por el dinero.
El presidente Gianfrancesco Lupatelli, presidente y fundador de ACES Europe. And at my right side I have John Swanson, the vice president of ACES Europe. John Swanson, good morning, how are you?
Good morning, Hugo. I am fantastic, thank you.
You were in Cardiff a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah.
you can talk a little bit about European Capital of Sport Cardiff 2014, please.
Well, I think Cardiff's done a fantastic job promoting sport and promoting ACES in its year of sport. A couple of weeks ago, I went to their sports conference and they had some very famous sports people there from Welsh rugby, from Welsh football, but also people there from disability sport in Wales, and also some very ordinary people that had achieved extraordinary things through healthy participation in sport and recreation. So yes, I think Cardiff has used the badge of the award of ACES to really make a difference in Cardiff.
For sure, and if you have to put a score to the city of Cardiff, which is the scoring you give to them?
There, I think it's up there with some of the best cities. I really do. They've had a vision for a long time that sports make a difference. And if you look at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff, they built maybe 20 years ago now, and there was much criticism about the money they spent on the Millennium Stadium. But I think it's one of the best examples in all of Europe as to how sport can help regenerate the city. Because to build the Millennium Stadium, it has paid the city of Cardiff and Wales back many, many times with the amount of visitors that come to Cardiff, and also the profile that that sport has given Cardiff.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, John. Alberto Picchi, at my right side, as well, is the Director of the Institutional Relationships of ACES Europe. Alberto, good morning.
Good morning, Hugo.
How are you today?
Very, very well, and I hope that you are as well.
For sure. Well, we have an interesting mandate in terms of sport because we have the European Week of Sport in the 2015. As you know, we have the Erasmus Plus budget just for the sport. I think it's excited in terms of sport, the new mandate, right?
Yeah, I mean, Hugo, absolutely. I think that the overall constellation in Brussels is changing, and I think that sports is becoming more and more important. And I guess that it is extremely relevant to really understand the fact, not only within the European Commission, as you correctly pointing it out, with the European Week of Sport, with Erasmus+, with actually the new commission in charge of education, culture, youth and sports now. So Tibor Navracsis will be in charge of sports. So this is a clear message that really tells us that sports is becoming extremely relevant. But not only at the level of the Commission, also within the European Parliament. You know that there is the constitution of this intergroup on sport with more than 100 MEPs, actually 118 MEPs that have already signed for the constitution of this intergroup on sport. So yet again, a very clear message from within this institution, the European Parliament. And again, the third institution, which is the relevant one, which is definitely the Council of the European Union. Well, this third institution is, I would say, really understanding sports and investing a lot of energies in sports, especially following the Italian presidency now that will be ending at the end of December. But here again, there are some very clear signals from the Council that sports is again a very important, I would say, aspect and element, especially the combination between sports and innovation. So I guess that here very clear signs, Hugo, on the relevance and importance of sports, and I can be extremely pleased for Access Europe. Access Europe, as you know, has done an exceptional work in, I would say, bringing sports at the very grassroots level. So I think that again, I might be biased in what I'm saying, but I sincerely believe that Access Europe has done an exceptional work.
And Access Europe is one of the founder partners of the European Week of Sport in 2015. It's very important, and we have to highlight a big event.
Absolutely. Sorry, I should have started also by this. There are too many things that one has to focus on, but indeed, Access Europe has been also, I would say, officially recognized as a founder founder member of the European Week of Sports, which will be organized in the second week of September 2015 during the European Week of Sports.
For sure. Presidente Lupatelli, 2014, un año importante, un año en el que KPMG entra en ACES Europe para mejorar la asociación más aún si cabe, ¿no?
Sí, ha hecho un ótimo trabajo de buena gobernanza de ACES Europe. Yo pienso que el trabajo hecho para nosotros es muy importante. Tenemos un reglamento muy profesional con varios artículos, más de 30. Que es la nueva historia, la nueva etapa que tenemos como Access Europe. La cosa más importante del trabajo que hacemos ahora es de nombrar en las naciones donde falta la delegación de Access Europe, poner en todos los 29 países, haber una delegación de Access Europe, porque es importante que una ciudad europea del deporte está en cada nación europea.
Hay que destacar, por ejemplo, que este año tenemos un nuevo país, Croacia, con la Villa Europea del Deporte Lepoglava, un país que apuesta fuertemente por el deporte.
Sí, claro, tenemos novedades importantes como Croacia, Bulgaria, Polonia. Para nosotros cada año es importante haber nuevas naciones porque el deporte para todos, el deporte popular, el deporte de los ciudadanos, por discapacidad, por los niños, debe ser un deporte por la salud. Es importante que en cada nación europea está una ciudad europea del deporte.
I was talking with Mr. Lupatelli, John, about the good governance project of KPMG, a good project that is improving the quality of ACES Europe.
Well, I think that's one of the really good things to come out of our work in recent years, is sharing that best practice across Europe. And sometimes, particularly in the UK, we can be too insular in just looking at ourselves, when elsewhere in Europe there's some very good things going on. And I think the good governance is an excellent example of how we can share that best practice to make things better.
Alberto, you as a specialist and consultant in this kind of projects, you are involved as well in the KPMG project. Please, your opinion about it.
Well, so as you know, I'm coming from different angles, because I've been, I would say, established in Brussels now for the last 20 years. And as you know, I have a multifaceted background. You know that I'm the Secretary General of FASI. You know that I'm also the Executive Director of EPSI, being the European Platform for Sports Innovation. And so I think that it was important for me to bring to the table of this study from KPMG all this knowledge and all this experience, and so I was very I would say positively I would say I was extremely positive in the way that KPMG has run their study. So they've done a thorough analysis, really at the ground level. They've come and interviewed all the different I would say judges that were present during all the I would say the process of electing the capital of sports. And so this really showed me that there was a lot of professionalism, a lot of I would say good work. And so I cannot but be extremely happy and satisfied by the outcome of this study made by KPMG. It shows professionalism, it shows commitment, and it shows ultimately that ASHES Europe is improving in the way they're concentrating on their good governance. So well done. Also coming with this other background in the picture, Hugo.
Absolutely agree with you, Alberto. Y para terminar, presidente, como italiano que usted es, Torino el año que viene va a ser la capital europea del deporte. Me imagino que ilusionado y con ganas de que se desarrolle un gran año torinés.
Claro, para mí que soy italiano, l'importanza di avere la capitale europea del deporte il prossimo anno, Torino, è una cosa meravigliosa, perché Torino sta lavorando molto per questo evento, di fare sport per 365 giorni, per fare lo sport per 54 settimane. Questa è la forza di ASHES Europe, lo sport non per un giorno, non per una settimana, ma per un anno. Grazie a Torino, grazie al sindaco Piero Fassino. Torino sarà una grande capitale europea del sport nel prossimo anno e sono sicuro che sarà un'ottima guida per le altre capitali che arriveranno, Praga, Marsiglia e Sofia. Benvenuti con noi.
Por supuesto, presidente. He's talking about Torino, and now we have to talk about as well about Prague. You were in Prague. About Marseille, you were in Marseille, and then we can discuss with Alberto about Sofia, because he was in Sofia. Tell me a little bit something about Prague, your impression, and about Marseille.
Well, I think Prague's a sleeping giant, really. I was very surprised. I've been there before as a tourist a few times, but when I was there in my capacity as Vice President of ACES, I was very, very surprised, pleasantly surprised with the amount of sports facilities they had, including the biggest arena I think I've ever seen, with something the capacity for 300,000 people.
In the socialism.
Under the socialism area where they used to march the Russian troops and whatever. So I think they are a sleeping giant, and I think they are quite rightly using and going to use sport as a vehicle for further integration with the rest of Europe. And I think they're going to use the ACES award to help build on a strong foundation to reinvest in the importance of sport.
And about Marseille?
Marseille, simply fantastic. They are so enthusiastic about the award. Before they were going for the award, they were so enthusiastic. And again, I think a fantastic sporting city. The city has changed very much over the last 20 years. They've put a lot of investment into the city. And now they also want to use sport as another investment tool to help improve the city for the future. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Marseille do with the award. I think they're going to do a fantastic job.
Thank you, John. And Alberto, you were in Prague as well, in Marseille, but please talk a little bit about Sofia.
Well, Hugo, I think that I think that one has to take into consideration the the different background that all these cities are coming into the competition, and we know that Sofia, I would say, started from a different background in as much as all the infrastructure development, all the financial means that they have available was definitely reduced with regards to the other cities such as Marseille, for instance. And so I guess that one has to very, very clearly acknowledge the fact that the departing point is not exactly the same, and one has to take into consideration all the exceptional efforts that Sofia has made for, I would say, overcoming this different departure point. And so I think that I have maybe some key words that I'm capturing after the Sofia visit, and these key words are, I guess, popular enthusiasm. There was a lot of enthusiasm. There was a lot of commitment from the mass. You could really feel this kind of devotion, this kind of willingness to deliver with all their means, which were, of course, I would say, lesser extent compared to the means that Marseille could offer. But there was this really willingness to deliver. There was devotion, there was trust, there was commitment, and so I think that I'm very happy that ultimately Sofia has been appointed as capital of sports, because ultimately they deserve it for all these reasons. You see, it was extremely important to see really the willingness to deliver. We took part to the press conference, for instance, with our president Gianfrancesco Lupatelli, and you could really perspire this emotion in all the people that were so willingness to really receive this award, that I think that I'm very happy and satisfied of the final result, Hugo. So these are the elements that are extremely important for me to remember.
Alberto destaca sobre todo el entusiasmo que mostró Sofía en la candidatura, cómo se merecían ese premio, por lo bien que han trabajado, incluso en la rueda de prensa, cómo mostraron una pasión tremenda por el deporte. Y es verdad, ¿no, presidente?
Sí, para Sofia parece un país mediterráneo, trabajato col corazón, e per esto la Commissione evaluadora ha hecho un ottimo puntos, e per questo motivo la differenza entre Marsella e Praga era inferiore a 5 puntos, e per questo motivo ha ganato il titolo per il 2018. Quindi sicuro tenemos 4 años de grande capitale europeo del deporte, de Torino, de Praga, de Marsella y de Sofia. Yo soy seguro que trabajamos ahora por el 2019, y esta mañana me ha llegado la carta oficial del alcalde de Málaga, candidata por el 2019. Esperamos 5 candidaturas entro el 30 de marzo del 2015 por el próximo año ofrecer a toda Europa la capital europea del 2019. ¿Qué será? No se sabe.
El próximo año lo decidiremos. Presidente, como siempre, ha sido un placer y disfrute de su gran día, que se lo merece después de 15 años de un gran trabajo.
Gracias, Huguito.
John Swanson, it was a pleasure as always. I want to be with you here in this table with other interviews. Thank you very much for this first introduction.
Thank you very much, Hugo.
And the same to you, Alberto Bicchi. Please keep here in this table to talk with all the protagonists. Thank you very much.
With pleasure, Hugo. Thank you very much.
We continue here from the Euro Parliament.